of the group that they reside in or the group themselves as the victim.
Do we have to walk this down? Where does Hassan condone rape as a form of resistance?
He said that all forms of resistance is valid. We literally heard him say this. He literally says all forms of violence is fine. This is literally what he said. I don't know why we are contending this for the 50th time. I want more chicken nuggets. That's what.
Oh, when he refused to condemn.
You're gonna walk that back, right? Yeah. So it's not. Wait, he didn't. Wait, but he condemned something specific.
No, he didn't.
Right?
He did.
He condemned violence against civilians.
Hamas rapes on October 7th.
He condemned violence against civilians. Is rape not a form of violence against civilians?
Wayne, okay, hold on. If we're of the opinion that Hassan, are you just saying he did once, or are you saying this is the merit of his opinion? Because in the discussion with Ethan explicitly brought up several different instances in which people were raped.
He has said, I've watched.
Bro, little bro thinks he can debate like Queen.
I believe I watched him say it on. Here's Morgan. Yes,
okay, no. I'm not talking about a single statement. I'm talking about his coverage.
I'll walk this down for everybody, okay? Because I think it's a crazy thing to say that Hassan supports rape. I think that's fucking nuts, okay? Hassan
then why didn't he
will
condemn
not,
it?
because of his political position, sufficiently condemn the actions of Hamas, yes. But that is not supporting, right? That is a different thing.
Wait, no.
Bro, dude, he's so stupid. He's just so stupid. How is... Okay.
When you say things like Palestinian resistance groups are justified in attacking the Israelis, and then they go, yeah, but...
Israel doing a good job? Yes, he is doing a fantastic job. Yes. The reason he's doing a fantastic job is because he does not go soft or courteous with Jstlk. He is pushing back whenever needed, being harsh and mean with him whenever needed, okay, and calling him out on his bullshit when he looks like he's being bad faith. However, the only feedback or critique I would probably give is you need to just say that he is lying or bad faith at some point, okay? Like, you pushed him to the limit. Okay, the last step is to call him bad faith based off of everything that's you have argued so far, right? Makes sense? Okay.
Like, not raping the civilians or killing the civilians, right? And then your response is, I can't condemn Hamas. I can't do that. So instead, I'm just going to obfuscate for multiple hours.
Do we have a
you think that is you think that is like, what do you think that is?
Do you have that clip? Does that clip exist?
Yeah, look at the entire Ethan. Wait, can you give me through the entire Ethan Klein debate where he conceded Hamas was a terrorist organization that warranted significant scrutiny, that Houthi...
Calling someone bad faith is thought terminating in a conversation, which is fine. That's fine, okay? Yes, it is thought terminating with Jstlk, okay? But at some point there is no longer any reason to converse with him, okay? At some point, you just kind of have to take your win, okay?
These were a terrorist organization that warranted
You're
significant
totally moving the
scrutiny.
goalposts. I'm asking you for where Hassan said that attacks
my
on
argument
civilians...
is very simple.
See, now that's a cute viewer right there, okay?
That when they said rapes and murders of civilians are bad, and he said, well, I refuse to condemn Hamas. I want that quote that you just said he said.
I never said he quote said that he what? No, what I'm saying is that he did refuse to condemn Hamas over their rapes on October 7th during that debate.
That he okay.
I believe he even refused to recognize them.
I need that because I could have sworn I didn't watch the whole thing, right? So I could have sworn that in the Piers Morgan debate he did. He basically said, yeah, obviously I don't think attacks against civilians are good. Obviously I don't want violence against civilians. I could have sworn he said that.
Bro, in the NPR...
Listen, I need to pull a Nathan here, and do you know what I'm gonna say? I think Nathan just needs to listen to me, okay? Nathan's right, okay? We need to pull out the Ouija board, okay, for Hitler. All right, we need to pull out the Ouija board. What does Hitler think about this? What is Hitler's take on this?
Interview, he said he's a sock dem. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking
my
about
God.
is his coverage.
So we can't
I'm
use his
talking about
statements.
when he makes arguments, when he's talking.
Binks Magnus in Kick Chat. Someone should make Hassan answer the question. Do you think all Israelis are valedictorians so you can have it on camera and it's easy to reference? And if he won't answer the question, that's basically an answer. Yeah. No, ask Jstlk that. No. Jstlk will probably just say no.
People and he's
I'll
making
totally
arguments.
agree with you that he's willing to minimize all of Hamas's crimes.
He
Absolutely.
lies. He lies about his positions. And when you ask meets grass, when a debate comes and time comes, do you condemn Hamas for these rapes? He goes, well, blah, 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 and he moves the goalposts and shifts things around. The Ethan Klein debate was perfect to illustrate this. He never explicitly said, yes, I condemn these rapes that happened on October 7th. He never said this.
Okay, he might not have ever said that. I agree with you. And I agree, he absolutely downplays the evidence that exists for sexual violence happening on October 7th. I totally agree with that. What I'm saying is, I don't think he specifically ever said, which this is the only point I disagreed on you, but you said Hassan supports Hamas raping civilians. And I'm like, no, I don't think he ever would have said that.
I believe in this is maybe where we're going to disagree. I think in a principled discussion with your former co-host, where the principal distinction is whether or not you support Hamas, because they believe you support terrorist organizations, when they bring up to you real material instances of them raping civilians, and then you cannot concede that, yes, the rapes did happen, that is support.
Okay, I think, the way I look at it is, he shouldn't have to condemn Hamas. He should be able to say, like, these actions are evil, and I condemn anybody who does them, right?
What?
So what he shouldn't be expected to do is to say, I condemn this group that I see as like absolutely necessary.
Oh yeah, I'm also looking for new mods, okay? Just FYI, you have to be active in the Discord too, okay? You have to be a regular. You have to be active in the Discord, at least for a while, all right? Good luck.
To prevent like the extinction of the Palestinians, that they are violently resisting a genocide. I don't think
we fight with Destiny anti-fan communities all the time, so obviously mods are needed for that exact reason, okay? That's why.
Should have to say, I condemn that group wholesale. He should have to say, I condemn these actions. These actions that have happened, I condemn these rapes. I condemn the killings of civilians.
I agree, and he wasn't able to do that.
Okay. I need to see where...
Wait,
So somebody's saying he's never denied rapes occurring, he only denied systemic/mass rape. Now that's not true necessarily, Kilo, because I think that he specifically, there's some argument about Hezbollah raping people, and he goes...
He never denied rapes occurring, he only denies systemic mass rape. Nah, that's retarded. It's so clear to me that he just denies every single instance of rape and only brings up Israeli rape. Dude, fuck me, dude. Fuck anyone who gives Hassan any amounts of good faith, okay? Because these, like, twisted monsters, these creatures that crawl in the dark, what they will do is that they will take advantage of your good faith and they'll turn it against you, okay? These monsters, these demons that must be defeated, these evil creatures, they must not be given even a sparing amount, an ounce of good faith, because they will twist it and turn it into an ideal of evil and twisted agony.
What rapes did Hezbollah do? Bro, what rapes did Hamas do? But that's like...
Yeah, exactly.
In the moment kind of shit, where I'm like, okay,
well, no,
that's not him laying out his
in
positions.
the debate with Ethan literally brought up articles and a woman testifying that of her experience with Hamas, and then he explicitly said, like, we don't what was it, like, we don't have something like, we don't have like any evidence or like videos or anything like that of these things happening. And then when presented with it by Ethan, he literally refused to accept it in front of him.
Look, listen, I don't want to hear anything from you unless you're Jay and the boys, okay?
Literally in front of him. He refused to accept it.
Okay, let's go through that section, I guess. I'm fine with him refusing to accept certain things, right? So what I think he did, I don't remember this section. What I think his position would be was there's no evidence of mass or systemic rape, right? That would be his argument, and that he would agree that rapes happened. So he would agree that rapes happened. I've seen him make this point that he agrees rapes happened. Right? Do you disagree with me that he has agreed rapes happened on October 7th?
He said it. I don't think that is a part of his coverage. He
Never mind.
seems
There's
to
no
only
point in
say
having
it
this
very
conversation then.
specific.
If the response is going to be he said it, but I don't believe he believes it, then I don't know why do we even
it's
have the
not
conversation.
whether or not I believe that he believes it. It's that he's inconsistent with his mentioning of it. That's the point. He'll say it in only very specific circumstances, like maybe one.
Yes. Yes. Only when he's being confronted with it. Yes. Pixar, it doesn't happen. Yep.
But the overwhelming bastion of
By the way, I'm just flabbergasted, like how anyone would ever defend the would ever defend like the fucking debate, FYI, okay? It was such a fucking blowout. I can't even imagine. It was such a blowout. It was more blowout than, you know what I'm talking about, okay?
his coverage is to never talk about it ever, and including in the moments that you brought up, like what rapes did Hamas do?
Yeah, I know all of the clips. I'm telling you that, like, when you say something's outside of my understanding of the clips that I've watched, right? Then I'm gonna go, well, I don't know if he said that. But what you said is he's like pro-Hamas raping Israeli civilians, and I'm like, no, I don't believe that.
So in the Ethan Klein debate, he said that there's nobody who testified. There's none of these different things, you know, the common talking point. And then when Ethan Klein sent him several bits of evidence showing that that actually did happen, he just refused to recognize it.
Okay,
is that support?
He refused
yes
to
no?
recognize that because of like what's going on in the debate, where Ethan's going, "You support this? You support people getting raped?"
No, I believe, if I remember correctly, the reason why he brought it up is
Was more a blowout than Fire's debate with Destiny? My mind went somewhere else.
because he's like, Hassan said, yeah, there's I haven't seen evidence, or like nobody's come forward to like testify, and then he brought up clips of this happening. He's like, and then he said something like, so this person didn't testify, or something to that effect. Yeah, I think it was probably quippy, but at the end of the day, you have to concede that unless you're supporting the rapes, in my opinion. That's just how it works. You can't, in front of 100,000 people, I think that's how many people were watching on each stream. You can't, in front of 100,000 people, just go like, no, I'm not going to recognize the evidence that's right in front of me, like articles and stuff like that showing it. You can't do that. Otherwise, you support it. Like, that's pretty simple. When that's the principal distinction. Do you support or do you not support this terrorist organization? I believe you do. Here is evidence of a thing that you say this terrorist organization does not do, and you refuse to recognize it. I'd say you're supporting them. Pretty simple syllogism.
Let's go watch the clip. Let's get the clip, because from what I understand, he has said that no rapes happen in captivity. I think this person was arguing that somebody they knew was raped in captivity, right? They're testifying to this, right?
I don't remember the specifics,
fuck?
but perhaps.
Hold on.
Okay. When testifying, he previously covered on stream, and he was saying he knew about that case, but that case was in captivity, and the argument was Ethan was proving October 7th
This is
essays.
ridiculous.
Also, just to be clear,
Wait,
the UN report
hold
that
on.
constantly gets...
I thought Hassan said that there were no rapes in captivity, or that. Although I thought he said there was one.
I believe he said there's one. Whenever he gets referenced, he always says there's only ever been one confirmed rape in captivity. That is what he consistently says.
Okay.
There's only one confirmed rape to have happened in captivity.
Testimony?
Which obviously implies that there is no other confirmed rapes, even singular confirmed rapes, like at all.
No, I said I'm listening to you.
Not the case.
Don't worry. I
Sure.
was just grabbing another soda. Go ahead.
All right, let's go.
On the pail.
Is that it?
There is one instance
Did you put a
in
Hamas
captivity.
headband on me?
Is Hassan worth this level of defense? I'm just going through and showing like this is what I think I remember, right? And if I'm wrong, I'm fine with being wrong.
Sure did.
How was your day, Foodshops? Well, you know, Destiny raided me again, so I guess things aren't that bad.
Did.
Hold on. I missed this.
Is that it?
Hassan does suck. Yes, Hassan sucks. I'm sitting here like,
If Hassan was willing to admit that rapes happened, it's such an easy W to say, yes, that has happened, and that's bad, but it doesn't change the overall situation. I mean, it just shows how, like, fucking scuffed the situation is, right? Because at this point, it's just kind of become, like, this entire meme where if you say that the rapes have, in fact, happened, you're, like, endorsing, like Zionist action, right? Which is just ridiculous. Like, you can say that you're pro-Palestinian, and you don't have to deny the fucking rapes, which is, like, again, it's just fucking unhinged. But yeah, no, trust me, it's I get you.
I just think it's probably bad that we have a bunch of people online explicitly lying about Hassan. That's the only point I'm making here. If you hear anything else, I'm sorry, right? I'm tired of people getting lied about. I'm tired of the lies. I just want the lies to stop, okay?
Stop. What?
We have a bunch of lies going out, okay? Calling for someone to attack Hila because she's
I think Jstlk plays a devil's advocate. No, he plays no. He goes full retard. Okay, that's what he is.
served in the military over a decade ago. We disagree with this as well, right? That he did not say this. Hassan did not say that.
I don't believe that he's. I don't believe he is making an explicit call for it. I believe that there is an
No, sorry, he's a fucking liar is what he is, okay? Sorry, I don't even know why the fuck I gave him any kind of semblance of...
implicit.
Yeah, he's a fucking liar.
You
saying that
don't
it is
even believe. You don't even believe that Hassan is implicitly calling for it. You believe that
No, I believe
Hassan's
that he's saying
audience
it is
might interpret it that way.
I'm saying that the implication of his words is that it would be justified. That is what I believe he is saying.
The implication of his words is it might be but you don't think that. You think that people could misunderstand him. Just to be clear, you already agreed with me that there is nothing there.
Here's a different way to
That's not
say
an implication. An implication is your intent.
It is reasonably interpretable from his words that it would be justified to attack Ethan Klein.
It's reasonably interpretable by... Okay. But you don't believe that he is implying that or that he is saying that outright, right?
My reading says no, but it is within the scope of human beings online that would be reasonable in their reading of it that they could take that away, yes, and therefore it should have never been said.
What?
Just because I can read or I can listen to this and be charitable to this and understand what I believe his intent to be doesn't mean that his entire audience is going to. And in fact, I would argue his entire audience is specifically tailored to take this in a way that says, if Ethan Klein, she gets smacked. Then...
What percentage of Ethan's audience, or sorry, of Hassan's audience, do you think didn't know that Ethan Klein went on those night raids?
I just screwed out yours. I think.
Say 0%. Just do it. Say 0%.
I don't know. Very low.
Very low. Okay. So what do you think is changing here?
What's changing
people
is
who engage in violence in the West Bank are valid military targets.
It's her moral equivalency and her moral proximity to the people who are actively engaged in militant action in the West Bank and in Gaza right now.
They all knew that already, right?
No, he's closing the gap on their moral proximity all the time.
Sounds like a lower.
And that's the point. Is he's significantly closing the gap in this instance?
He's closing the gap.
Yep.
What does that mean? He's closing the gap between
that means
so
that the
actual
moral
people
difference
invading the West Bank now
military target that is justified and good to kill is and Ethan Klein is shrinking in his audience's perception.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's just pushing his audience closer and closer to saying, like, if somebody killed Ethan Klein, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, or it would potentially even be good. But
I don't think he's pushing his audience closer to that. I think his whole audience. I think his whole audience that's baked in already. This whole thing is like there. I think it's already baked in with them. I think that's why in any context they would say Hitler, Hila, whatever the fuck, genocidal Hila, all of these things, right? That's my argument.
No, that's ridiculous, because then your argument would be it couldn't get worse.
I don't know if their opinion of Ethan Klein could get worse. I don't think it was made worse.
You have to take that back. That's one of the most retarded things I've ever heard in my life.
I don't think their opinion could possibly be made worse by reference to the night raids. I don't think so.
By reference to that, you have to take that back. You can't believe that.
By referencing her night raids? I think everybody there already knows about her night raids. It's like a total meme.
Said tomorrow, Ethan Klein deserves to be killed because she went on those night raids. You would say that, oh, well, their opinion of her isn't
Go to bed. No, I have to get
going to be lowered, and there's no consequence to this.
Oh, sure. If he was saying she should be killed. Yeah, okay, I see.
Okay, so their opinion of her can be lowered, and it's just we're arguing whether or not
no. Sorry, that changes something else, right? That's not their opinion of her wouldn't go lower. Their opinion of what could be done to people with her, like, with that level of opinion would change, right? It would be like how you think you can deal with people that you have this opinion of changes, right? That's what's changing there.
Yeah, but their opinion of her would change.
What has changed? Is it their
Their
opinion
opinion
of her,
of
or
her
what you can
has
do to
changed.
people who you have that opinion of? Why? What new information do they have about Ethan Klein?
Wait,
Just tell me
just to
that.
be
What new
clear,
information do they have about
because
Ethan
this
Klein?
is total
Can you
semantics.
answer the question?
You're
What new
saying there's
information
a
do they have about
difference-
Ethan Klein?
You're saying there's a difference between people's changing opinion of her versus people's changing opinion of what they could do to her?
Based on that opinion, yes. That they
Yeah, come
already
on.
have
This is
all of those
semantics.
facts
Come on.
baked into
Come
their
on,
opinion,
bro.
right?
Come on, man.
Wait, hold on. Do you not think those are different?
So just to be clear, you think that it is the same exact moral opinion if I say that if somebody in Hassan's audience goes from, I actually love Ethan Klein, she's the best person on planet Earth. In fact, she's the second coming of Christ, to, hey, actually, I think Ethan Klein deserves to die. That is not a change of opinion. That's a change of the underlying your
you think
opinion
there's
of
a
the
significant number
underlying
of people
facts
that are
then
like that?
influence your opinion.
You think there are a significant number of... so what underlying fact has changed that influences their opinion? Thank you. Go.
I don't think any facts did change.
You just said that. That was your argument.
No, I'm saying that that's what your argument is.
I'm saying there is no fact that's changing. They're saying, Hassan is saying, somebody who went on these night raids, that's your principle. What's changing is your principle on when political violence is appropriate, not your opinion on Ethan Klein. Do you understand what I'm saying?
This is literally just base semantics. I really don't know why you're making this argument. My argument is, hey, Hassan's audience's opinion of Ethan Klein can lower. And your argument is no.
Sorry,
can't.
not based on a fact they all already have.
That is ridiculous because they
Sexy Jedi, thank you so much for the tier 3 sub. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Welcome to the community. Okay.
their opinion of her is influenced based on their opinions of those facts. No?
You're a Findom sub now. Well, how did you discover my sex cult? I'm kidding.
Yes, it would be. Do you think
Therefore,
anybody's
it is
understanding
possible.
of the night raids
It
has
is
changed?
possible. Therefore, logically, it is possible for them to change their opinion of her, and those facts not change. Correct?
Maybe if they'd heard. So here would be an example of this. If they'd heard about some more violence that had been.
Oh yeah, if you're in the Discord server, okay, if you're in the Discord server and you're like a sub, okay, your thing does change, your thingy, okay. If Hila was doing her secretary job, did you see that Binger Loner Box tweet? If Hila was doing her secretary job underneath a hospital, would she be a valid target or something like that? True. Yeah.
Done by like these night raids, then yes. But I don't hear Hassan saying that.
No, all they have to hear is that, hey, if you previously went on these night raids, you are justified as a valid target.
But that's not what he's saying.
Oops. I almost exited out the stream.
We have already agreed that's not what he's saying. I don't think there's any reasonable interpretation where you could think he's saying
this much
this.
stream. Okay, bye. See ya.
We can agree, you and me, that he isn't saying this, while also agreeing, or we don't agree, while also making the statement that people listening to this message can take away the opinion that she is on the same moral footing as the people who are currently engaged in it, or a similar.
Because they're being associated with in the same fucking sentence segment, okay? And Hassan did not make any clarification that there any difference between them. Repeat and rinse 50 billion times and you get this entire conversation. They're looping, okay? Again, all right. You make a name right next to a statement in which people are typically only half listening, like me. I am half listening right now because I'm brain broken, okay? When you put them in the same paragraph, okay, of words, you are automatically associating them together subliminally, okay? Obviously, because your audience, your extremist audience, is half listening, okay, they'll probably think, and unironically think as well, that Ethan Klein is still a valid target here in the United States, okay? If they are the people who think that, then therefore you yourself need to have the responsibility as a content creator to clarify that you don't mean for people to go after Ethan Klein IRL in person, okay? Otherwise, what was even the goddamn point of bringing her up in the first place? You brought her up for what? For sex? Did you find her sexy? Is that what? Okay? I don't think so, okay? You fuck porn stars. Somebody who fucks porn stars does not need to have any more sex, okay? You need therapy. That's what you need.
Their moral footing.
And literally everything before that
I
clip,
believe
as we've already agreed, is talking about your need to be in these places, engaging in this actively.
Just to be clear, you think it's ridiculous for me to believe that Hassan's audience is primed and ready to go to believe that somebody who he's referred to as a propagandist, a genocidal propagandist, would be available for or morally justified in being a target of violence.
Okay, do I have evidence of
one
this?
Of his close friends, one of his close friends on stream that he refuses to condemn, believes that propagandists who are pro-Israel
he won't condemn one of his friends
violence.
who has called for that violence. Yes, and he hasn't condemned that actively.
And you think it's ridiculous for me to believe that there's people in his audience that are primed to view Ethan Klein as a propagandist who is justified for violence? You believe
based on that
ridiculous.
statement, yes. I believe anybody who's already there, who's already a Noah Samson fan, who's already primed in this way, would already know that she's gone on these night raids, and would either already think.
And you don't think Hassan's constant smack talking of Ethan Klein and his wife is going to cause people to not, or maybe they will go after Hila Klein, IRL. Do you really think they're not going to do that based off of your justifications? Come on. You're literally trying to imply as close as possible. You're trying to get a free hit job, okay? You're like trying to get a Costco handouts for killings, okay? Because you don't want to pay for a hit job yourself, because everybody knows a hit job is anywhere from $75,000 to $200,000, okay? $200,000 if you want cleanup, okay? However, obviously, if you don't want cleanup, it's going to be $75,000, okay? And you know that, all right? So therefore, okay, you're hoping you're going to get a free labor, okay? What, they're going to be paid in exposure, I guess. But
or this wouldn't change their opinion significantly.
Because I
don't ask me why I know this.
How are you not able to conceptualize this? It's not whether or not they know that he went on the night raids. It's whether or not they believe that having previously been on the night raids warrants X treatment. And his argument is that X treatment is getting closer and closer to active military members.
Dude, I hate anything. Just stop, dude. Don't get paid in exposure, okay, Jesus.
So you think unintentionally he's convinced a bunch of people that all former active military members of the Israeli government who have gone on any raid into the West Bank or the Gaza Strip are culpable and can be targeted now? You think he's convinced a significant portion of his audience of this?
What, from
the
the
statement? You have to say yes to that.
No, I don't.
You have to say yes to that.
Yes,
how you have to. That has to be your opinion. That's what you've been arguing the whole time.
Explain how I would have to say yes to this. All I'm stating is that it is reasonably interpretable that would be a consequence of it. That's it. You understand that me and you could call for somebody to die
We're
in this call.
We're disagreeing on what's reasonably interpretable.
Excuse me. You understand me and you could call for somebody to be killed right now on this stream. And at the end of the day, if nobody in our audience cared to take us up on it, that wouldn't change that.
But you can't show an example of somebody in this audience committing that level of violence.
And that is my argument. My argument has nothing to do with actually whether or not somebody will do it, right? That's not my argument. It's whether or not it's reasonably interpretable that people would justify violence against them. And it 100% is.
I totally disagree on this. And I think this framing is totally broken. Right? I think there's no evidence that somebody in Hassan's audience has done violence, right? I think there's no evidence of that. I don't even think there's evidence that they have a propensity for violence. Okay?
I mean, I think that's ridiculous when his friend literally is justifying political violence against everybody.
Okay. I'm loving that. So no, I don't want to go to the topic that I sent you the DM about, but fuck me.
What?
Well, no, because it's going to be different because, again, it's about specifically condemning this specific action. And I would stand on that no matter what. It's about condemning this specific thing. He can have Noah Samson on as long as he says, hey, bro, it's very convincing. Hey, bro, that shit cannot fly. If you say shit like that, no. You're fucking. I'm gonna fucking make fun of you. I'm gonna do all this different shit. I'm gonna say how retarded you are. You cannot say shit like that. I'm not gonna let that slide. If he did that shit when he had him on, then we're chill. But he doesn't. In fact, he ignores it.
Okay. So he's totally culpable for that opinion, and his audience.
No, not
would also,
I hate this extreme that you keep doing. I'm not saying that Hassan might as well have done it. What I'm saying is that there's a clear precedent in Hassan's community that it is okay to justify political violence against people who are pro-genocide. Do you disagree with that?
Yes.
There's a clear precedent.
There's a clear
hold on.
There's a clear precedent, as in there's one case of somebody there saying that political violence would be okay. Like that is the precedent.
His friend he has on stream, bro. What?
Yes.
His literal
I'm
friend
asking you about levels. So you said precedent. Sorry, I was
house.
going to disagree if it was broad. I was just going to disagree on whether or not it was broad. I think there are a lot of people who watch these streams and have no inkling towards political violence, that do not believe political violence is justified. And I was going to say I would need evidence that they actually support this. And if you want me to say yes, okay, I do think that they support political violence.
Even if you support political violence against people who support who are randomly pro-Israel because they just call anybody pro-Israel they want, right? Whoever is pro-genocide. That political violence against them is justified and even fine enough to be able to allow you to get on his stream without a word of condemnation. And have him cherish you in your opinion on Israel-Palestine.
I think the opinion of Israel-Palestine is a little disconnected, but I think
no, it's a part of it.
He should be absolutely disavowing Noah Samson's calls to violence, 100%. But
his opinions on Israel-Palestine is a part of the reason why he's making these calls to violence.
Sure. What do you hold on. What do you disagree on? What do you disagree on?
What do you think Hassan's audience downloads into the...
Here's a fantastic... No. There's a big disconnect, okay? You can have an opinion on the state of Israel-Palestine and have a different opinion entirely on what the reaction to that should be, right? Those are totally distinct. We'd agree on that, yes?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of it's not a problem until someone actually faces the consequence of a call to violence. Yeah, and at the same time, you don't want to get there in the first place, right?
And wait, you can have an opinion on Israel-Palestine and have an opinion on how it should be handled.
Versus prescription.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so descriptively, what does Hassan disagree with Noah Samson on? It's only on the prescriptive side where he disagrees, right? If he doesn't want political violence. So what I'm saying is he can agree with the descriptions that they give of the situation in Gaza, right? But their prescriptions are different. I've seen no evidence that Hassan's prescription is violence for people. For like these people, right? And the evidence you have is saying, well, actually, because he agrees with the description from Noah Samson and Bad Empanada, he agrees with their prescription.
What about him not condemning the kidnappings of the people on the boats?
Yeah, that's fucking retarded. I absolutely hate that.
Wait, no, that's worst part of that entire debate.
Oh, but hold on. When was the last time you brought up the fact that this was retarded? Did you always think that this was retarded? Why do you only bring up the fact that it's retarded when you're being confronted with it? Really makes you think, don't it?
That's absolutely
the worst part of the debate.
No?
Hold on.
Wait, just to be clear, that does away with what you just said.
Political violence. No. But political violence in this part of the world, you don't have the ability to influence Israel.
Do you think Hassan would say that if America sent boats to Israel, that it's aren't there American boats that have been stopped by the Houthis?
Stopped? I don't know. I don't think so. Definitely not American Navy ships. Sure. They've been shot at.
Let's just assume a hypothetical.
Not funny, okay?
You're saying Hassan would condemn the Houthis stopping an American vessel to Israel?
No. This is probably the best example that you have, and this is one that I disagreed with. I don't know if you remember that deer guy, the deer avatar who came out and argued. You remember that guy? That is like I don't know how you can get away with not just disavow.
Oh, are they still going? Okay, I think we're done for now. Holy shit! We'll continue tomorrow. Oh Lord. Oh, I am sleepy now. Not sleepy, but like, I gotta go edit as well. Okay. Jesus. Hold on. Who do I raid? Hold on. RuneScape. Any RuneScape players? Raven Falls. Okay, this is someone new, okay? This is someone new. Alright, guys. Give Ravenfall all of our love, okay? I love you guys. Please join my Discord server, okay? Donate if you haven't.